Hello, Kimberly, Lisa, and guess who? It's Nancy. Hey, Terry and Beverly. I thought I'd come on early. What else am I doing? Kimberly got her package in the mail. Guess what I got? I got your envelope today. Thank you. That card was adorable, Kimberly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Was everything okay, Kimberly? Hi, Linda. Laura Look Lambeth. I love people's creative names. I just love getting on here and seeing everyone's creative names. Yeah. We've got a few minutes left to go. I don't know if all of you saw the little video I put out earlier with what you would need for tonight, but you just need a bunch of small scraps. In fact, I am still prepping mine. That's good, Kimberly. Kimberly or Kim, which would you rather have me call you? I feel like I should call you Kim, but now I've called you Kimberly for so long. And Lisa's doing the double wave. I have had a rough day. It has taken me this long to feel this good. Been a long day for me. Well, hello to you too. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Or is that just a username, Luta? Maybe you can tell us what we should call you. Not that I'll remember, because I'll probably forget, because I'm terribly forgetful. Well, Kimberly, it sounds like our mail got to each other at the same time. You go by Kim. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Like I said, I've thought of you as Kimberly for so long that may or may not work now. Luta. Either is fine. You answer to both. It's good to know. Okay, I'm going to continue to prep. Have a few things left to do. There was Stephen Bland from the Idiot Quilter, Bland Designs, the Idiot Quilter. He had an online quilt retreat today. And I tried to go to that, but I wasn't feeling that well. But I went to that, but I also had Brenda's, which was 11 a.m. my time. So Stephen's was at 8 a.m. And I went over there, and then I ended up going over to Brenda's. And then I had to stop and go do something else, and then I went back and saw them both again, so. Met some really interesting people and new people. That's always fun. Always fun to meet new people. Okay, let's see. Hi, Janice. 81. Yeah, Beverly, that's what it is with me. It takes me all day to get ahead of my pain, and I'm not really ahead of it, but boy, it's been an uphill battle all day long. Just walked in the door from Canada half hour ago. I could go to Canada that way and be there in a few minutes too, over to New Brunswick. Hi, Joyce, how are you? Anyone here with experience in being a moderator? Kim, anyone? I don't have anyone here yet. Oh, is Lisa, you're moderating. That's right. Oh, Terry, how did I miss you too? All right, I guess I'm all set for moderators. My girls are here. Thank you, ladies. Like to thank you, ladies, for that. The didn't even realize. 70 in Connecticut. You guys don't mind if I go grab some Tylenol. I bet you'll wait right here for me, won't you? I should have done that before I started. I know, right? Both of you here, and I'm like, where's my moderators? Uh-huh. I never said I was smart. I'll show you guys what I was working on today if you want. There. I was working on finishing off a big bottle of arthritis Tylenol. No, really. I'll show you what I was working on. Okay, most of you will remember I made the tote bags there in the tutorial, and I made myself one and I had a couple extra. Well, I had the squares all sewn together in the 9 patch. So I've got enough for 2, and I've got the linings cut for both of them, and I have the pockets cut. I just need to cut the straps, and I don't even know why I'm making them. I mean, yes, I guess I could sell them, but I don't know that I can. But I figured I may as well finish them, because how many UFOs do I have? I don't know if you guys are like me, but I can only take so many. So I figured if I didn't sew those things up and finish them now, then next fall they would just be laying around the sewing room, and I would be wondering why I had them, and I wouldn't remember. I'll be over and catch up with the chat there in just a second. So yeah, I've got 2 of those, and I'm just going to make them up. If I sell them, I sell them. If I don't, I don't. It's not the end of the world. Alright, let's see. Hi, Nancy. You set your alarm. That is so sweet. I'm still struggling with the 70 degrees in Connecticut. Raining in northeast Montana. Oh yes, thank you, Beverly, for reminding people about the thumbs up. 3 inches of snow tomorrow. Pennsylvania's got snow, and in northern Maine we normally get snow, not always before everyone else, but generally, and we haven't had it yet. Beautiful weather in Georgia. Nancy, I'm sorry that you're still not over COVID. That's rough. That's really rough. I think I had it. I think I just didn't get a bad case of it, because I had to go to the doctor, and 48 hours after I went to the doctor, I was so sick. Like, I was so sick, and I had no sense of taste. I was running a fever. I had chills. Yeah, I was sweating, achy and all that, but it didn't last. That was one day, and then the next day I started feeling better. So, raining in Nancy's little northwest corner of Oregon. She's cold. You better sew a quilt. Maybe we ought to go through all the rest of the blocks tonight, Nancy. Kimberly's never ready for the snow. Alrighty, let's see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else to show you guys, but I don't think so. And if I need help, just poke me. Poke me with a stick, guys. Been a long day. And it is morning time in Australia. It is almost 8 a.m. And our own Nanny B has a market today, and we are going to wish her the best of luck selling all her gorgeous wallets and such. 70 on Tuesday, and that'll probably be it for the year. I'm sorry, Joyce, I know you said where you're from. Can you repeat that? Kim, what it is I have a lot of pain, and there are days like this isn't even really bad. What I could say is really bad, but it has just been persistent all day long. It will not stop. I can't get it to stop, and then I am tired because I couldn't sleep last night because I was in pain. Hello, Kelly's Cruises, Crafts, and Quilts. Have you been quilting, crafting, or cruising? I bet you have. Oh, art by Marty. Marty, it's your first time here. Yay! You get the happy dance, right? It's a chair dance, mind you. Would you like your first time in the chat room happy dance, Marty? Snow Tuesday and 74 today. Yeah, Terry, I'm going to do it. It's an easy block, and I feel bad because I feel like I'm behind already. But if it gets too bad, we'll just hang it up, and I know you guys will understand. Connecticut. Okay, thank you, Joyce. And yes, yay, Nanny B. She has some gorgeous stuff ready. Whole bunch of those NCW wallets. Oh, my land. Thank you, Kim. Okay, Marty. Now, this all started because someone, I can't remember who now. You'd think I'd remember. But she kept saying, I missed your live stream. I missed your live stream. Oh, no, I missed your live stream. So I said, when you finally make it, I will do a happy dance. And so I did. So then last week, there was 2 or 3 new to the live stream. So I did their happy dance. And it went like that. That's my chair dance. Hi, Rose. How are you, sweet lady? Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. I've been trying all day and it hasn't yet, but we will see. We will see. So how many are going to be sewing along with me tonight, and how many are just watching? Either which is fine. Either of which is fine. Oh, get everything out here. I should have had a bag. What I need is about 40 more of these little containers like this. At least 40. Okay, I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes and see how many we get. Before we start. I gotta give up on the big iron and go to the lightweight one for the night. I can only do that bigger iron when I feel pretty good, because it's a fairly big iron. So, has anyone guessed what we're doing tonight? Okay, let's see, and go back up. Now it's a thing, Rose. You got it. It's a chair dance. Sylvia, hello. And she's watching. Nancy's watching. And Kelly is watching and chatting. And we greet you wherever you happen to be cruising, Kelly. And Kim's watching, not prepared, just got home and she's tired. That's okay. And Laura is sewing, and Marty liked the chair dance. Thanks for the welcome, just watching tonight. Rose is hemming some pants for tomorrow and watching. Nancy, I've got a stack of scraps sitting next to me, so I hope to do at least some sewing. Dawn, hi, I set my alarm so I wouldn't miss out. Unfortunately, I'm just going to be able to watch for this time, and hopefully next time my sewing stuff will be out of the shed. That's quite all right, Dawn. That's quite all right. We understand. And Terry, I was thinking of sewing along, but I just finished pin basting a panel, and my back said, enough. I understand that. Kelly, I may sew later this week. The knee seems not so bad and might cooperate. I keep getting a pop-up something or other. YouTube's trying to tell me something. All right. Terry, I can help you find your free motion feet if you can help me find where I put the cover to my, okay, you know how I have this ironing board thing that my husband and I made? Well, I made a fleece little cover for it for last time so that the fabric would stick on there like this. And I took it off there after the last live stream. And this afternoon I have looked everywhere. I had to make a new one because I can't find it. So it's probably wherever you left your free motion feet. Linda is sewing. Kelly says the next cruise, February 2023. I bet you know how many days until then, don't you, Kelly? Hi, Lupe. She's quilting along. And hi, Diane. Weather was so nice today. Clean part of the garden and raked leaves. Winter will be here soon. It certainly will. Nancy says, Terry, they're in the last place you look, so look there first. There's one of those in every bunch, I tell you. We try to make Nancy behave, but it's not always possible. And yes, Terry, I can blame the cat. Alrighty, it is a few minutes after 6, and we're just going to get going on this because I'm not feeling great. But we're going to do this. Alright, we are going to make a crumb block. I have a tutorial for this on my channel. Many of you probably already know that. But I get a lot of questions about crumb quilting. So I thought it best if we incorporated one into our quilt block, into our quilt, and also because I can show you as we go, okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of crumb quilt pieces. Now, these ones I'm going to show you are ones I have made, okay? These are mine. So you can notice the size of the fabrics in there. But then, whoops, there's some with smaller pieces. As you can see, I've got little pieces, 2 right side by side. So crumbs can be any size that you want, and it doesn't matter if you mix bigger pieces with smaller pieces. Anything works. Okay, let me get a few more examples here. Now see, to me, these are bigger pieces of crumbs. But they're fine. A crumb is a crumb is a crumb, as far as I'm concerned. And I sit and sew these, and then it doesn't, I just kind of stop when I'm done, when I feel like being done. But I'm going to hold this up so that you guys can take a good look at how many different little sizes I have in there. And it all has to do with how we start putting them together. So that's what I'm going to show you guys. So first off, I'm going to get my little scraps together. And I'm going to show you guys the little scraps. Oops, I better catch up on the chat and see what's happening. Okay. Terry, if I don't stop looking after I find it, I'm in more trouble than I think. Sylvia worked on a cruise ship. Nancy, now you can behave. I just know you can. I know you can. Right. I do live in Maine, Kelly. We're at either side of the continent, if so. I bet. I'm in northern Maine. Yeah. Lisa's looking for what's left of her sanity. Let me know how that search goes. I might need some. It is very relaxing to make crumb blocks. I love them. Okay. Yes, Kelly, that's what I do. It doesn't matter. I start off putting my smalls together so I can mix them with the bigs. Hi, Adam. Well, thank you. He's coming in to check on me. I was telling them I'm not doing great, but I took some Tylenol, paracetamol for you guys, and I'm hoping for the best. Today can't get over soon enough as far as my pain goes, but thank you. And Kelly, going to make dog blankets with your crumb blocks. Well, hello, Charlotte. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how I start. First off, I'm going to move this so that you guys can see, hopefully. Can everyone see this thing okay? All right, I think so. All right, so I have all kinds of things. I have things that are sewn together. I have little bits and pieces like that. I even have this left over from making those leaf pot holders that I made. And I have these left from making crazy blocks. You could use anything. You could cut some of this off to use it. You could incorporate the whole thing. It's your crumb block. You can do whatever you want to do. Me, I'm going to set these aside this time just so I can show you guys how I work. Now, let's say I've got a couple of pieces. You want to find two that are fairly similar in size. And when you're sitting with a whole pile of these scraps and you're at the sewing machine, it's going to go a lot quicker than the way I'm going to show you right now. But I need to break it down for those of you who haven't done it. So you're going to take two pieces that are similar in size. See this side by side. And you're just going to lay them together. Now I pin them. And I'm going to make a pile of those. Okay. So let's see, there's two more that are similar in size. And if I sewed these together, I could still cut that in half to make more variety if I wanted to. But I'm going to put those together. Now another thing you can do is take a strip, one that hasn't fallen on the floor like mine, and then you can take pieces like this and you can lay that down. Take another one. Put the flat side to the flat side. Let's have another one. We'll find a smaller one. I'll put that there. Actually, I'm going to go a little closer there. And I could put another one there, or I could cut that off and let that be its own crumb. I think to make it interesting, I'm going to move this up a little bit more. All right. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to sew right down here, and then I'll be able to flip these open. But I'm going to keep on putting a few of these together before I go to the sewing machine. What about triangles and odd shapes? Let's take a look at those. I will find what I have in here for these. I will say that personally I don't care to work with triangles, but that's not just for crazy blocks. That's just in life. Okay, so I'm going to lay those together and pin so that I can sew across that. There's a couple that are close in size, so I'm going to pin those. See what else I have. Okay, Charlotte is from Oklahoma, isn't there a song? Oklahoma, where I don't know what the words are. Hi, Honor. Thank you so much. And thank you, Lisa, for the reminder on the thumbs up. And Diane is going to watch and then sew tomorrow. That's good. That's perfect. China gel. No, Dawn, I have not. Yeah, mine is a nerve issue. I have nerve pain. I've never heard of that, though. I'd have to look into it. Kelly, that's exactly how I do. I chain piece a whole bunch, clip them apart, iron them. Yep. And I don't know if any of you, like I said, have seen my tutorial that I did on these. All right, so I'm going to make another couple of pieces, and all I'm going to do is the same thing. I've got this short little strip. Actually, I'm going to put that on there. And to me, crumb quilting is so relaxing. It just is. I can't even tell you why I enjoy it like I do, but I could sit with crumbs all day long and just sew. I love them. Let's see what we've got here for pieces. And just as with our other ones, we are going to make 12.5-inch blocks. Now see how I have this left from another project? I can lay that right there and use it up. It's perfect for leftover pieces. All right. Let's see where the wind goes sweeping down the plain. That's it. That's it. Okay, I'm going to write down that China gel somewhere. I do have somewhere a pen. Oh, and I got a new light for my sewing machine the other day. It's a gooseneck lamp. It could be longer, but it works. Gives me a little bit more light. This almost feels odd because usually I don't work with them this way, but in order to show people who've never crumb quilted before, it's just the only way I know to do it. All right, here we go. We're gonna sew. I know you guys don't need to see me sew, but I am using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And that doesn't matter for crumb quilting. I had to laugh the other day. Not funny, haha. I don't mean the person did anything wrong. I saw that I had a comment on my crumb quilting tutorial on YouTube. So I went to read and see what it was. And the person had never commented before, and they said you don't have to trim, but I can't remember how they word it, trim between every piece. But I do. It's my OCD. Now, I've always trimmed because I think it makes it look neater. you know, it's like I've said to you guys so many times, we all have our own way of doing all these things. And that's what makes all of our projects as individual as we are. I like doing these where I have the strip and then the 3 or 4 crumbs on there and then cutting them apart. I love those ones. Makes me feel like I'm being tricky. That's me, I'm tricky. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't picking on that person for telling me I didn't need to do that. But, I mean, I do realize that not everyone trims and not everyone irons in between. I happen to, and I'll show you why in just a minute here. Although I'm sure most of you know exactly why. Alright. And a viewer got me this. If you're watching, I use this all the time. Don't know how I got by without it. That thing is great. Pins out, and then we're going to iron, or I will iron and you will look. Okay, let's see. Love those lamps. Hi Dan from Arizona, and she loves crumb piecing. That's awesome. I think there's a lot of crumb piecing loving people. That's it, Kelly. Seriously, I think I'm going to have to go watch yours. I didn't know you had one. I'll have to go watch your video now. But that's exactly how I do it. And that's the only way I can teach. I can't teach it any other way. Lisa says, I'd like to thank all those who are involved in the sticking Oklahoma in my brain. You're very welcome. Is there anything else we can do for you tonight? Anything at all? Knick knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone? Anything at all? Let me see. Kim says, I can't wait to fill my yardstick box. I'm excited about that. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you like it. I told Johnny that you did. Hey, you guys probably saw on Facebook the yardstick shelf thing he made for me. Oh, my land. He came in the sewing room with that yesterday. I said, how do you expect me to get any work done if I have to keep stopping and looking at this stuff? I love it. Hi, Susanna, your first live. You know what that means? You get the Marie sitting down in a chair happy dance. Are you ready? Because everybody gets a happy dance their first live. And I don't mind being silly because I love you guys. Deanne, I mix and match larger and smaller pieces. I even sneak in fussy cut pieces. That's beautiful. Yeah, very good idea. Okay. Now, I am going to try to move some of this stuff that I have out everywhere and move it somewhere else. Because I have to see if I can get my ironing board low enough that you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, let me see. This isn't great. I have an app on my phone. I think you guys can see okay. Alright, I have an app on my phone, and when I film on my phone, I can look on my iPad and I can see exactly what the phone is showing, so exactly what you guys would be seeing. But I don't have it on my computer. All right, I want to take one of these. This is the one where we had 4 pieces, okay? And I'm just going, this is on the other side of that strip. So I'm just cutting in between there. And you don't have to worry about if it's straight or not. Nobody's going to come along and measure it. And the other thing about using the strips is it gives you a chance to lay pieces more than one way. Like instead of keeping them all the rectangles going this way, you can turn them this way, or you know, like that. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys something, an example of something. Alright, that's just the first one I grabbed. Okay, this is the back of one of my crumb blocks, and I do tend to trim. I know I have one here somewhere. Now, first let me say there is not a thing wrong with not trimming, but there's a difference. And if you go to quilt the back, if you go to quilt it, then the back will matter if you've got lumps and bumps. So I try to cut down the number of lumps and bumps I get by trimming. And like I said, maybe it's my OCD. I don't know. But it's what I do. I've always done it with the crumb piecing. See, my steam iron would make really quick work of this. I can't put water in this little one. And the other thing I wanted to say, because I use that strip, I won't use all 4 of these in the same block. I might use 2, but I don't like to repeat fabrics too much in a block. Okay, now here's a good thing to see. See, this didn't come down to the end, and this was a little rounded, but that's okay. You just do what the best you can do with it. It will all turn out in the end because they're crumbs. And it makes it more interesting the more shapes you get. So you wouldn't want to just have all rectangles or all squares because, yeah, you have difference in colors and variety of fabrics, but you also want different sizes and shapes so that your block is more interesting and eye-catching. And normally when I do crumbs, I make a pile, and I do mean a pile. I will sew ones. How I think of it is 1s, 2s, and 3s. But also ones together like this for hours up here before I stop to do anything with the iron. Oops, here's another one where I've got a strip and 2 different pieces. I hope you guys can see okay. Okay, let's see. Judy, hello, welcome. Oh, you'll get a happy dance. You guys remind me she'll get a happy dance when I get done here. Well, I'm glad you came on over from Stephen's retreat. I tried to hang out there as much as possible today between there and Brenda. Crumb Quilters Unite. Oh, you got that right, Kelly. All right, let's see. I'm trying to catch up with everything. I trim as well for the reason you just mentioned. Yep. I'm glad I'm not alone. Because I know a lot of people just keep going, and their quilts look fine. They're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just we all have to do what we feel comfortable with and what we like, I guess. I wish I could use my big iron. I can't put steam in this though. Oh, I can't put steam in it. Yeah, I can't put water in it. How's that? All right, and this is another strip. Trim that. Nancy says she prefers to trim and press as she goes along. She likes the look. Yeah. And you know, then you don't have to go back all at once, I guess. You know, but yeah, I make a pile of crumbs. These are my onesies, and I do all these, and then I'll go to sew these together. And when I have them sewn together, I stop and I iron. The only difference, like I said, is the amount that I would normally have done. Okay. I have to stop for a moment. And Deanne says, I like to trim as I go too. It just makes it easier to add the other pieces. I agree. And it just looks neater and it isn't all bumpy and lumpy. I even use the 1s, 2s, and 3s as leaders and enders. I wish I could get into the habit. I just don't. I have one piece that I use. Well, a few pieces. Let's see. Yes, Dawn. I've watched Darlene for years. Actually, I don't watch her anymore, but I watched her for years. She has basically a similar method to what I do, but of course, we're all crumb quilters. We all do it similar. Yeah, she lives right here in Maine. Well, she doesn't anymore, but she lived in southern Maine. Norma Jean, I also like to trim and press as I go. Lisa, yes, Dawn, she's something else. Kelly says, yes, Dawn. I did watch her entire Crumb series from a few years ago. She does have a lot of good tips. She really does. Hi, Colette. You trim and press as you go. Is this your first live or just your first chat? Comment. The Quilting Marine also does crumb piecing. I didn't know that. Spritzing with a spray bottle when you can't steam. I can do that. I have that over there. Norma Jean, I actually I prefer my seams open. Now, I'm going to put it this way, most scrappy blocks, I iron my seams open. Other blocks, non-scrappy blocks, I tend to press to the darker side. Depending, but I find, because I like to hand quilt, I find it's easier for me to hand quilt when my seams are open. All right, Colette, your first live, as well as I gotta go up here. Who else was it? First one. I gotta really scroll back. Susanna. Okay, so they get the chair. Happy dance. You guys, I'm crazy. I can't help it. I do what I can to make you smile. All right. I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to trim. But first things first, I have to figure out how to get my screen to show. All right. Is that visible? I think it's visible. I'm sorry, I can't tell. I really need that app. All right, so all I'm doing is straightening the edge. And that one, the other edge is close enough. And I know I'm not going to use all of these from the strip, but I'm still going to give them a quick trim. That's fine. Usually they have one side that's fine. And you could always add interest too by, instead of going straight, you could kind of go like this at an angle if you wanted. But because I tend not to care for triangles and all that stuff, I don't give myself any more of those than what I already have to deal with. Okay, can everyone see? Okay, everyone can see. Hi, Elena. My middle name, spelled just like that. I've got my iPad on so I can glance down and see a little bit of the chat. Honor, it's your first Sew Along live. Well, that's awesome. Oh, Terry, you did the dance with me. Well, how nice, but how come we didn't see you? Did you wear your dancing shoes? Thank you for the audience participation on that one. Hey, did you guys see my nails? I can't remember if I showed you guys my nails or not. They're a little shorter this time, but maybe next time they'll be longer. Okay, this is a little bit bigger than what I normally go, and I'm going to lop that off a little bit and have 2 pieces. Because that's just how I roll. Tomorrow we are having our granddaughter and her boyfriend over for a chicken dinner, so that should be nice. Okay, here's my, it isn't square, but that doesn't matter to me, as well as I don't care if the selvage edge stays on there either. I'm just gonna lop that off a little bit so you can make it almost square just by doing your own little thing there. So what we're going to do next, as you can guess, is we're going to take these pieces and match them together in like-sized pieces. So and I also have, before I forget, I have some pieces like this that are left from quilt blocks. Put those back in the scrap pile. I wanted to use some of these. See, I can just take that. There's one piece. Probably ought to get my ruler. My OCD will kick in and I'll be like, who cut that? Or who let me cut that? Like that. Wouldn't be nice, would it? But I tell you, sometimes these bigger pieces have saved me when I've needed just a little bit on the edge of a block. Alright, so I'm going to take my pieces. Oh, I even have some from other times where I was sewing them together. I'll bring those in too. That doesn't matter. I'll use it all. Okay, so like-sized pieces. Let's see. That's pretty close. Okay, Aunt Di, how are you, sweet lady? Hey, Fran. Watched your very first video. I remember you. Oh, thank you, Fran. That's so sweet. Here I am 7 months later. Oh, who's leaving? Oh, I gotta go back. Wow. Oh, Laura's gotta run. Having a blast crumb quilting. Have a good night. You have a great night too. I'm sorry I missed you. Oh, Honor, isn't that sweet? I have a subscriber whose grandchild just loves it when I say her name. They get very, very excited and think that their Grammy is a star. Beginning sewist. I figured that's what you meant, Honor. But yes, Fran, it's very good to see you. And yes, Diane, better late than never. We love seeing your face around here. All right. I'm going to match these up. Continue to match them up and see what I can come up with. Now see how these are going this way and these two are going up and down. So I'm going to match those because to me that looks nice. I like that. And then remember this piece, so I'm going to lay this across there. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit off this one. I get kind of picky on these things. But I'm going to use this piece as a strip piece, just like I did with the other one before it. Ah, there's a good one. All right, just like that. And that makes easy work. Easy work. I like this one. Gives a little bit more visual, more to see. Let's see what matches up best. I don't have a gazillion pieces cut out here this time for some reason. Oh, there's a good match. Diane, are you watching or are you sewing along? You missed that question. It's fine either way. I'm just asking because you know me, I'm nosy. Inquiring minds want to know. Need to match that up to something. That's going to be close enough right there. But yeah, I could do this all day. I could just sit and crumb quilt. I love to crumb quilt. I think I want to match those two together. I think that would be nice. And the other thing that I try not to do is see how, let me back this up. See how I have a seam here and a seam here? I could match that, but I try not to, especially on crumbs, because there are so many seams that you're dealing with that, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's better when you try not to match them up. All right, I'm going to lay this one. Where are we going here? How about that? I think Diane said to do that. I heard her telepathically tell me. But that was the way to go. I want to use this. I'm just not sure how. I guess it's going to go here. And then what's going to go on there? I must have another piece here. Look at that. A nice pretty batik blue. And I will put that in this direction. Okay. Here we go now. Do. Okay, I have to catch up. Oh, Susanna, thank you so much for dropping in. We're glad you dropped in on us. Come back another time. You can catch us on the replay if you want to see this. Diane, since you got your wheels back. Okay, we know. We know how it is. Diane just got her license back. She was out speeding and got caught and lost her license. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. She said something about driving and I'm just making stuff up, trying to make her laugh. All I don't know if I have enough pieces here cut out to make a 12.5-inch block, but that's what we're going for. We're going to continue to put these pieces together until we make a 12.5-inch finished block. Now see, I could sit, like if I had insomnia, which we were talking about the last time, if I had a case of insomnia and came in the sewing room to sew crumbs, I could sit here and chat with you guys half the night just sewing crumbs. I love to sew crumbs. I just do. I think it's so relaxing. And I love to see all the different fabrics and shapes take place. And you don't know what's going to happen sometimes. You just have no idea how that's going to come together. And that's some of the more fun for me, more fun part for me. One more. I think I'm going to turn on my big iron. I'm just so used to that I have a hard time without it. Oh, I have a yellow triangle. That would add some bling now, wouldn't it? Crumb quilting can help you drift away and clear your head. I agree. I agree, Terry. That's true, Kelly. When you don't want to have to think about anything, you just want to sew crumbs and crazy blocks. That's it for me. I could just do them both. But you know what I also like to do with my crumbs? Not just quilting. Well, I guess it is technically quilting. But take the crumbs and make a zippered bag. You know, one of those open wide zippered bags like I make. Coin purses, tote bags, any number, throw pillows. There's so much a person could make. But I love all this. Now this is a block that someone traded with me in my swap group. Look at all the colors and shapes and little pieces in there. Don't you just love that? Look on the back. Look at those little tiny, the ones here. I don't know how well you can see. Just amazing. I love it. And there's a whole bunch of pieces here. Just a lot to catch your eye on. Just a lot. Diane, I haven't stopped shopping for 3 days. You're gonna run out of money there, girl. I agree. Very therapeutic to sew crumbs. Yeah, Terry, I kind of worry about that sometimes because I have neighbors on the other side of this sewing room. Is our neighbor's child's bedroom, so I'm always like, oh, I wonder if they can hear me. But according to her, they never hear us over here, so guess I have to take their word for it. I'm just trimming some of the little EBDB pieces while I'm waiting. Oh, my iron is hot, I think, finally. Okay, let's see what we have here. Yeah, this iron is really good. The steam is really good, but it's kind of on the heavier side, and so days like this, it is not my friend in that way. But it makes such a nice piece. So what can I say? I like it for that. So does anyone other than me, steam out their glasses, does anyone other than me press their seams open on a crumb quilt, crumb block? I just got one sewed shut, so that'll teach me. No, I probably won't. I'll do it again. Okay, Judy. Oh, bye, Marty. Okay, oops, I gotta scroll back up. What's that device you're using to cut your threads? Okay, Elena, a subscriber bought this for me and I am trying to think of the name of it. You put a used rotary cutting blade, like from here, when these go dull, you put it in here. This thing comes apart and you put the blade right in there. That's what's in there. But you can't cut yourself from here. And it sets down in this base. Someone know what they're called? I'm terrible. I just can't think of what they're called. So I apologize. Judy L, you say, what do you do with these? You mean the crumb pieces? Okay, I'll show you. Now, we make blocks. The blocks can be turned into quilts, tote bags, pillows, zippered bags, any number of things. But for this quilt along, we're making them into 12.5-inch blocks. But there is a lot that you can do with them. Terry says, I bought some yardage from my fabric addiction. It came today. I'm already sewing with it. Yeah, I saw she had a sale going on. I was going to get on there and order on Monday of this week, and I didn't get there. Well, no, I take that back. I got there, I looked, got distracted, and didn't place an order. I want to get some of those batik, I can't say it, scrappy strip batik packs. I have such a hard time with that scrappy strip pack thing. Oh, pretty. I'll have to trim those up with the ruler too. But let's see. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. I like my nails. And Kelly, I love that the dog blanket thing. I love that idea. Of course, I still want to make myself a quilt completely out of either crumbs or crazy blocks, or maybe a mixture of both. I think that would be pretty too. I think I'd have to have sashing or it would just be too crazy busy. But I think it's possible to do it. But yeah, doggy beds. And who's to say they wouldn't love all those colors and all that you put in it? Plus, it makes them warmer when you've got all those seams, right? It has to. I would think, anyway. Yeah, I think I'm going to, one of these days this week, I think I'm going to dump out my scrap pile and just make crumb blocks. Even if I don't get to the blocks, if I just simply sew them together, I love that. Put on an audiobook or some music, but usually an audiobook or a YouTube video by your favorite YouTube creator. Maybe I could go catch up on Kelly's videos. See what she's been up to over there. Yeah, I could go watch Kelly's Crumb video. Anyone who's not subscribed, I'm sure she'd leave her link right there for you. Alright, next I'm going to trim again. So I'm going to try to move this yet again. Deanne, I know you were asking Terry about the quality of fabric. I haven't had any issue with quality whatsoever. Her shipping is really fast. And how I started going to my Fabric Addiction one is she had these scrappy strip packs of 1 pound of scraps for $10. And it was such a good deal, and I liked all the different colors, and they were new scraps to me. And then I got, what was it? I think it was a jelly roll from her. Yeah. My latest 2 jelly rolls from my Fabric Addiction have been these, which are, this one's from Moda. It's called Hope Blooms. I hope you can see it. And then I have this one, which I can't wait to use. I really need to use. It's a Riley Blake, and it is gorgeous. Okay, I'm trimming these. Sorry I can't keep up in the comments, but I'll let you guys chat while I'm doing my trim. I like this piece. You guys ever have ones that you like the one piece better than the other, but then when it all goes together, you're happy with it? Oh, I like that one. Some reason, something about that I really like. It says 5 right in the middle. I have all kinds of fabric like that that's trimmed off things, like somewhere in here. Yeah. These were either a Christmas book or an apron or something. Yeah, it was a book. And I save those, and they can go on a postcard, you know, a fabric postcard or something like this. And there again, I think it adds more interest to the piece. That's just me. Oh, there's another one I really like. I think this sunflower makes it pop, gives it a little bit more color than what it had on its own. Although this one's nice too. Alright, I like crumb blocks. What can I say? And I guess I do have enough for... Alright, now see, here's one I have to decide which way I'm going to go, because this corner is off here. So I can either trim it this way or this way. And I'm going with this way. Like that. But I do need to square this up. And one last piece, and then we can put them together for our next section. Okay, Blade Savers. Honor, you have not shopped at my fabric addiction. Oh, you have shopped. Okay. All right. See that's it. I have to scroll back up to now you want to make bags, Kelly. Sorry. And Rose says, yes, I press open now. Learned from you. Well, like I said, Rose, I do for a lot of things. It's not for everything, but I find I like it better. And people say, well, it's the strength of the seams or whatever. Well, if you're quilting over it and your fabric is quilted down, then you don't need to worry about that anyway. Well, that's the way I look at it. But we all look at it a whole different way. Hi, TR. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It does make quilting easier, Deanne. I agree. And Terry, I agree. Prices are great. Fabric's nice. No complaints. And she ships so quickly. Friend of mine ordered, and within 2 hours of ordering, she had her tracking number and it was on its way. And there's hardly anyone I can say that about. And Diane has been pressing open somewhat since I taught. Hi, Melissa Sewing Creations. Good to see you. TR, yes, it is a thread cutter. It seems to me that there's a name for it that I'm missing, some little catchy name or something. Yeah, I just can't remember what it is. So if anyone knows like the little cutesy name for this, whatever they call it, but yeah, it just snips your threads. Melissa, seriously, there's so many different things. Right now we are doing these crumb blocks. Have you ever done crumb blocks, Melissa? You might want to, if you haven't, you're going to want to start where we started back there a ways, because there's one. That can go together. Look how well that matched, guys. Or maybe it should go over here. What you need to do, Melissa, in my opinion, is set a goal. Like, what's the first thing you want to make? Now, something like this, if you've sewn a lot and had crumbs, then this would be a perfect thing to start with. But if you don't have scraps laying around, then you don't have scraps laying around, and you'd have to start somewhere else. But I love making these and trying to come up with like new ways of laying them out. I gotta stop talking for a minute, guys, because I confuse myself. Alright, I need something to match with this. So I'm gonna have to sew this together. And see what we have here. I still think this is going over here somewhere like that. So Melissa, is there something that you want to make in particular? Okay, and what do I want to do here? I'll put that right there. I'm going to leave some of these. When I start getting a little bigger, I leave some of my pieces until I see what I'm going to need to fill in on other places. All right, now I can try to catch up. Nancy, that's true. She says, I look at crumb quilting like making new fabric out of what may otherwise be thrown out, and I love making. That is exactly right. Absolutely. That's how I look at it. Well, I say right. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it, too. Because how many people would sew this together? Not everyone would. We're the crazy people. those are good questions for Melissa. Terry, thank you for that. And Kelly, good, that's a good thing. Local classes. Yes, Deanne, working with squares is simple and to the point. Check this out, Melissa. All I did here was take 5-inch squares and sew them together. And I made this 9 patch and this 9 patch. Just ignore the batting on the back. You wouldn't even have to do this. So I took those 2 sets of 9 patches and sewed them together. And you could make a bag. You'd need strips and things like that, but just by sewing them together along 3 sides, you can make a simple bag once you get your handle on there, your straps. There's all kinds of entry-level projects to start with. Okay, Melissa, scraps. That's what we were just talking about. I bought scraps. Not like I didn't have any, but I wanted new colors. So I bought from that place that we've all been talking about, my Fabric Addiction one. And she sends you these. And they're scrappy strip packs. And you get a pound, because you get more than this. This is just one of the bundles. You get a pound of fabric, and it's actually more than a pound, for $10. So my first order from her, I ordered 2 of the scrappy strip packs, and I have been going to her shop ever since. These are anywhere from 1 inch to almost 3 inches wide, and they're by width of fabric, which is 42 to 44 inches. And they're a good way to get scraps because you can cut them up into what you need, or you can leave them as strips. They're perfect that way. Hello, let me see, P. Spielmaker. I was wondering what your grandchildren think of you having a YouTube channel. You know, I don't know. They haven't really said. I know other people's grandchildren like it if I say hi to them on the air, because they get a kick out of that. Let's see. Hi, Colleen. How are you? Aunt Di, I'm glad you like her shop. I really do. Hi, Doris Dale. Is this your first time? Yeah, I hear you on the shapes. I figured I'd try to keep it simpler for trying to do it on a live stream and to teach people, because I figured the oddball shapes and stuff will come in time to anyone who sits and does them, but I think what you're saying is true. You get more for your eye to look at. They're catchier and all that. I'm just not a fan of triangles, but I will angle cut a lot when I'm crumb piecing for myself, just to get the different shapes and such. Alright, get my pins out and we'll get busy here. I'm going to need some strip pieces here, I bet, because I'll probably get close to the 12.5 inches and I'll need some little strip pieces. Some steam. Normally I don't like steam when I'm quilting, but something like this where we don't have to count seam allowance, or the seam allowances don't matter. Nobody is looking at my 1/4 inch seam allowance. Right? You guys wouldn't look. You wouldn't tell on me, right? So Melissa, do you have your own channel, or is your name? Because I always know people can have a channel, or they can just have their username, and I never know which is which. I just assumed by your username that you had a channel, but I could be wrong. Or maybe I did see something by you. Maybe I am subscribed to you. So I am forgetful, so there's that too. And I'm about to do something just to show you guys what else I do that other people probably don't do. Let me iron this first. You never know what I'm going to do you guys? No, this one isn't hard. I'm going to shut off my steam. I like to use my sizing. It doesn't take a whole lot, but it keeps my seams flat. They lay much nicer with just a little spritz. So, I mean, they were pretty much laying that way anyway, but when you're hooking them together and you're moving them around, see how nice and flat that is? I like that. I have a new can of this somewhere. Alright, catch up a bit here. So how is Colleen tonight? Weeby, well hello, hello. I enjoy seeing your scrappy creations come to life. I do too. Thank you so much for coming by. I don't know as I've ever seen you before on here. Maybe you've been here and just haven't chatted, whichever, that works. Lisa, hey, how are you? It's been a while, right? Lupe, on the bottom of the flower thingy it says blade saber. Does it? Is that what it's called? Okay, I thought there was another name for it, but you are probably 100% correct. All right. Trying to catch up here. Will you use sashing to break up these blocks or sew them all together? Okay, well, we're doing a quilt along and it will have sashing. In fact, if you go over to my channel, just go to Marie's Scrappy Creations and click on videos, then click on playlists. If you scroll down under the Quilt Along playlist, it has, I'm trying to think of what the name of the first one is. I'm going to go see if I can grab that link for you. It shows what I have planned out for this quilt because there are 12 blocks. Each one finishes, well, it's 12.5 inches, and once it's set inside the sashing, it will be 12 inches finished. Playlists, let's see here. Quilt Along playlist. I know it's here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Grab the link. Copy. All right, here is the link for information about the sampler quilt that we're making. Hi Jeanette, how are you? I see your name on there. Nancy's got her block all finished. Goodness gracious, see, you're not talking like I am. You're behaving yourself, Nancy. Colleen, it sounds like you need to rest. Melissa says, I need a little channel tune-up, LOL. I'm glad you caught me too, Colleen. That's nice. That's nice. Hey, Annette. How are you? You have one called the Chain Piece Thread Cutting Gizmo. See, I know there's some little name for it that I'm just not getting, but yeah. Alright, I'm going to grab my handy dandy 12.5-inch square ruler so I know how big I'm getting and I can kind of. Alright. So again, I am laying these out so that I can see what I have. And I have pieces like this, and that's probably right where I'm going to put that, right there. And maybe on the side with the red. Because then when it opens up, it will be similar in size to this one. And then those will be roughly 10 inches. All right. See, I have other strip pieces here. Things like that can work. Not a problem. I think I'm going to put this one right on there. Like this. Nancy, I hope you put a picture on the Facebook group. Truck along here. And the other thing that's good is if you have, where'd my pile go here? I have piles of these. Okay. Now some of them are this size and some of them are larger, and then some pieces are small. And the reason I keep these, because they're like ones that I had made that didn't fit into a block, but they're good for times like this when you might need to cut it in half to get your 12.5 inches. But we'll leave that to the side and see what happens. Yes, anyone, Colleen, make sure you leave your link down in there. Anyone who has a channel, leave your link down there. I don't mind at all. In fact, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Colleen, I didn't email you back to tell you I finally got this thing to work. I don't know if you caught how I did it. This live stream thing. I downloaded OBS Studio. It's the only way I could get that go live link or go live button to be colored in so that I could actually go live after having pre-scheduled it. It wouldn't let me do it any other way. I don't know why that is, but, and I'm not really sure how to go about this OBS Studio. I mean, I'm using it, but barely. I'm technically challenged. And I think you can do something with 2 screens. Well, others can, I can't. So. Pieces. I've got stuff everywhere. know if I missed it or not, but I think, Melissa, did I ask you or did I think I asked you? Is there something that you particularly want to sew that you would like to give a try but you haven't tried yet? And I apologize if I asked you that already. And I will say I could have had a block all done if I'd have used larger pieces. This is the time that it takes is fully dependent on the size of your crumbs and the speed at which I run my mouth. That factors in there too. And as soon as this block is done, this chickie is getting a snack and going to bed because I'm tired. It's been a long day. I was up most of the night. Okay. Let's see what we have now. I hope you guys can see this. Trim. I know Nancy got done. I hope you had fun. And was it your first crumb block, Nancy, or have you done them before? Well, thank you, Terry. I don't know about looking perfect, but I appreciate that. Oh, I see, Nancy. You said, I love how the block came out. I'm so glad you chose a crumb block. Okay, so I'm glad that you liked it because I had just asked you that, but I don't know whether it's your first one or not, but I'm going to assume so. You're welcome, Colleen. Terry, thank you for dropping the channel links in there. We appreciate that. Appreciate. Annette says, so do I. Yes, Kelly, everybody, link those right down in there. Absolutely. Kelly says, I'm just impressed that you can sew and chat at the same time. Well, I'm not doing a heck of a lot of sewing. There's not a lot to be impressed about, but thank you for that. Annette, too funny, Kelly. My husband's oldest brother, but he passed away February 2021. I'm sorry. New YouTube Academy, YouTube University, that's right. Hi, Jennifer. Never done a crumb block? Well, now can be the time. Just think. Now can be the time. All right. I'm going to see how... Oops, I got to trim this up. Got a little tab sticking off the end there, and I had to cut that off, and I didn't really want to do that, but... Now, crumb blocks are fun. If you see me doing it like this, it's going to look long and involved, where normally you're just going to sit and sew stacks upon stacks of crumbs together. Normally. But I'm not normal. All right, I'm going to... Which two should I put together? I guess these two here are better together, like this. All right. I'm going to sew one or two of these pieces down to something else. Get myself a few more crumb pieces. Of course, I still have some like this. going to, see how I have this strip here and I put that piece down. So I'll iron this before I show you. And then I'm just going to lay this piece down. This is left from another quilt block that I have. But I'm just laying this down right sides together. And then, see how I have that little piece? I could put that there, but it's going to be a little bit too short. So I'm just going to let this be on its next, on the next one. Take care, Diane. Thank you so much for dropping in. We're glad you did. Always good to see you. Yeah, I gotta scroll back up. Jennifer, you say you've never done a crumb block. Are you interested? They're kind of addictive. You do one, or at least that's how it was for me. I did one and then that was it. That's all I could think about, was doing more crumb blocks. Making more crumb blocks. And you don't have to do them as small as I've done my pieces. You definitely can use larger pieces than what I've shown. They can be done in any way you like them to be. And Nancy says, I've done crumb blocks before, but never one as big as this one. I definitely see more in my future. They work up quick when I'm not talking. They work up really quick. And they're a great use of scraps. And we all have those, don't we? Great use. Di, I hope you have a good night. So Terry says, I have 18 crumb blocks made here from scraps. When I'm done with my steampunk quilt, I may put that one together. Just love it. That sounds very interesting. I'd love to see that. It's nice when you can look at a quilt and see all the past projects hidden in there. That's it for me with these. That's why I love crumb, or just scrappy quilts in general. You know, that's great, Jennifer. We would I don't know if you know, but this is block 7 of our Quilt Along. I don't know if you've done any of the blocks up until now, but like I said to people in the beginning, you could choose just one block and do it 12 times. You don't have to do everything that we're doing. Everyone can do their own thing, but we would love to have you join us, or just make your own. Do whatever you feel like doing. Gave my heart sister a quilt and she started spotting all the things I made in there. She was paying attention. That's sweet, Terry. Nancy, I'm looking at the block I just finished and I'm having fond memories of so many past projects. Really fun. It is. It's just amazing, the memories that are tied up in our fabrics, because there's usually a lot. I keep losing my scissors. Just in case nobody's watching me, I keep losing my scissors. Oh. I was doing pretty good there for a while, feeling alright, but I'm losing steam, as they say now. But we're almost done. Almost done. Then I can go to bed. I have a few more projects. I have something I'm making for Trinette. She won one of our prizes. And I had to order fabric. And don't you know that's when it takes the longest to come in, when you're waiting on it for someone? Just the way it is. Oh, do you guys see my rivet press? It came in. I was so excited and I forgot to order the rivets. What a dummy. Yeah, I truly did that. And it said it would take until Thursday for them to come in, the rivets. And then today I got an updated email that says Wednesday, but even so, it's still longer than what I expected it to be. I see some of this fabric has like ink marks on the back. It wasn't my fabric, it's something someone gave to me, and they must have drawn out project lines or something on the back and then not used it. See, there's lines on this. Okay, I'm going to trim my pieces. I'm not going to keep moving the camera down. You guys have seen me trim. I'm just straightening my pieces, squaring them off a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it's a crumb quilt and they're crummy. It's just if you trim off pieces, if they're big enough to go into another piece of the crumb, just don't throw them away. I still really like this piece, especially this edge up here. Oh, look at that. Now that's going to fit perfectly for size. So I'm going to put that together. I think I'll put the red in the middle. Go this way. I'm going to grab one of these pieces that I had, and that's going to almost fit. I need one just a little longer. I have all kinds of these. That one's a little longer. Perfection. Once I trim it. This crumb was before I started ironing all my seams open. The crumb I just picked up. Thanks, Kimberly. You take care. I gotta scroll back here. Kelly, thank you for dropping in. Have a great supper. Oh, Deanne, you've been making the potato chip blocks. Those are just wonderful. Did you go over to Brenda's Zoom meeting today? I was there twice. I wasn't there all day, but I went between there and Stephen Bland's Zoom meeting. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, we do have a Facebook group right full of people who love to sew with scraps. Thank you, Nancy. I thought about canceling, but I just couldn't let you guys down. So I'm like, I can do this. I can do it. I can do it. Kimberly, you have a great night. Yeah, Terry, the wrist pin cushions. Seriously, I don't know how I lived without them before. I really don't. So many of us that have them have said the same thing. The only thing different about since the tutorial is using this plastic from the dollar store, these chopping mat things underneath there. That was a suggestion, and the last one I made, I used it, but you know, my original one had the cardboard from cereal box in it, and I've even washed it, and the pins still don't come through it. So you can do, you know, you can do it whichever way you want to, I guess. I actually just had someone buy one from me, which is fine. I don't mind making them, but so I think after Christmas maybe I will make some up and just have them on hand, because they are good. Does anyone remember who was making them for their whole quilt guild? Remember on the Facebook group they had them all lined up there, and they were making a whole bunch of them. They must have had 20, easily 20 of the wrist pin cushions. And then Wendy Henderson the other day had posted, I thought it was pretty cool. She posted that their quilt guild or something like that had given them a project and said, take this 10-inch square and make something out of it where you're showing most of the fabric. And she made the wrist pin cushion, and I thought that was cute. I know I'm half out of frame, but I'm too tired to keep moving the camera, guys. We'll just go with it, right? Get this a little bit of spray starch. I'm glad that ink doesn't show through on the fabric, but good thing it wasn't on a lighter color fabric. How long this is. Of course it needs just a wee bit more. Well, we'll give it a wee bit more. Like that. I'm not afraid of a seam. Avalee, I didn't see you in here. Did I miss you? I'm sorry. Welcome, welcome. Cindy Hughes, hello. See, I have to scroll back. Joyce Baker, I said I would never make crumb blocks, then I retired. Now I have a big stack of them. They're so much fun to make. It's so relaxing. I wish I could show you all my pretties. You can. Yep. We have a Facebook group. Go Facebook. If you have Facebook, Marie Scrappy Creations. Out there, Terry tells you the same thing. Oh. Okay, Deanne, you missed her Zoom, but you watch her on YouTube. Yeah, she had that today. It was fun. Cindy, we're glad you dropped in. We're glad you dropped in. Lisa says, Marie, I thought you were Acadian Canadian. You look very French. No, I'm not. Not a bit, actually. But the Acadians are just a little bit north of us. So I'm right in the middle of French country. I am. Yeah. And no, I don't think you're weird. I'm weird, but I don't know you well enough to know if you're weird. Good thing you guys like me. I hope you guys know I am kidding. Jeanette, I have 10 potato chip blocks. How many are you going for before you get your quilt? You're going 12, 16, 20? How many are you going for? Yes, Nancy, remission for sure. Made it with steel wool. See, I don't know if it will hold its shape. I'm assuming you're talking about a wrist pin cushion. I don't know. I haven't made one like that. Haven't had any trouble with my pins not being sharp. So I know people use all these different things. I'm trying to think of the other thing. What is it? I knew it the other day. Someone said, do you put such and such? Oh, what is it? It's like the outer part, a hull or something. What are they? Anyway, and I said, no, I don't. But I don't have a lot of trouble with my pins dulling up. I mean, yeah, they do after a while, but I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that, but I do not know. And you know, she just said that I wish I could show you my pretties. You would think that YouTube would allow you to put a picture in a comment now, wouldn't you? I can't imagine why, with all the technology that we have in this world, that you can't do that yet. I'm sure they will at some point, but I think it's crazy that you can't do that. Okay, this is my last piece. I have these two pieces and I'm going to put them together and then I'm going to be able to trim my block. Just want to see how I want to place this. Because I used a fabric that was the same and I don't want it to be anywhere near it on this one. Alright, this one will work. Pin this and it's my last seam. And then I always spray before I trim my block up, because I think it helps it hold together better. The fabric doesn't go all wonky and slide around. Nancy, you have a great night. Your husband thinks he's starving to death. It's dinner time. You're welcome for the adventure. I know it might not have been my regular adventure, Nancy, but thank you so much. And yes, guess who, Nancy? That's right. That's right. Yes, feed the man, Colleen says. She knows. Quite vocal when it's feeding time. Oh, Lisa, my land, you were busy doing that then, weren't you? Holy. And in case anybody wonders about the thread and the needle and everything, I should have said that at the beginning. When I am crumb quilting, I use a size 14 needle and I use a 2.5 millimeter stitch length. You can use a 2.0, it won't hurt a thing. And you can use cotton thread, you can use acrylic thread, you can use whatever makes you happy. Because we're all about the happy. It's crummy, happy, scrappy, happy. Guess who, Nancy Marie? You know we love you. Weird attract weird. You got that right, Nancy. It's a good thing you guys understand me, right? So funny. When I first started this channel, I thought, what am I going to talk to them about? I don't know these people. What am I going to say? Yeah, I just go. Colleen, you fit right in. Oh. Diane, that's a good question. I did not put that purple in there somewhere, but I have to make two because this is the fabric. So for anyone wondering what she means, I'm making two separate quilts. So I'm making two blocks each time we make these. And in one of them, I am using this paisley print. I'm using one piece in each block because I'm hoping that it pulls it together enough. I don't really know if that's going to work well or not, but thank you for asking, but that will go in the one that I make off camera because I'm just doing this one on camera. Terry, thank you for the link to the Facebook page. Jeanette, 30 blocks, so that's going to be a pretty good size quilt, huh? Yeah. Joyce, I think YouTube's that could be, I guess, the pictures, that could be. I hadn't thought about that, but it makes it hard because sometimes, like, someone will ask me something and it would be so much simpler to send a picture than to try to explain something or to send a link, but you are probably exactly right. Lupe, finished my block number 7, so fun, love making crumb blocks. My friend makes fun of me because I used to throw all my scraps away. But you don't now, you said used to. See? Deanne, Marie, today has been so much fun, feel better. I'm glad you had fun and I do hope I feel better. Thank you very much. This, like I say, this isn't as bad as it gets, but I just as soon feel better. Deanne, I also use almost empty spools and bobbins with so many colors, who cares? And that's where I was going with that thought. A number 14 needle and whatever I have. What I tend to do is take the bobbins that are almost empty and use them up. Whatever I've got for thread. Terry, you bring the potato chips. Someone else can take and bring the dip, okay? All right, I'm ironing my last piece, and I'm going to spray it with my sizing to keep it nice and crisp, and then we're going to trim it, and it will be done. And when I trim my crumb blocks, I keep whatever I trim off because they go into the next crumb block. Always, always. I always steam my seams down and then shut the steam off before I use the sizing. Pull that block off some. I'm going to give it a good starch. I can't wait to see everyone's crumb blocks when they start posting them. For anyone new, that's what we do. Everyone posts them on the group when they make them. They post them on the Facebook group. And I love seeing everyone's fabrics because it's memories. It's quilts, it's clothing made for kids, you know, your kids, your grandkids, or fabric that you used for a throw pillow or whatever. It's all a bunch of memories tied up into one block. And that's why I love scrappy blocks. They are memories. Okay, I'm going to get my Lazy Susan cutting mat. Pick up my crumbs. going to rotate the camera down here in just 1 second. And I hope you guys will be able to see. Kind of. Okay, so I have my Lazy Susan cutting mat, and last time you guys let me know that they do come in bigger sizes, so maybe that's what I will ask Santa for Christmas this year. So anyway, it rotates like this, so for anyone who hasn't seen one, and that keeps you from having to turn your block and lose where you are in your placement. Now this is a 12.5-inch ruler. And since I can see through it, I can see where I want. See, like down here was my some of my favorite fabric. So I want to make sure that I get some of that in there. All right, let's give this a try. And turn. And turn. And turn. I don't have a whole lot of waste on this one, which is as it should be, but there are some pieces. See, I can keep that. Anyway, I'll deal with that later. Look at that. Let me get this. I have a string. There is a 12.5-inch crumb block. You're welcome, Annette. Oh, Terry has the same one. And Jennifer, what brand of cutting mat is that? It is a Fiskars, but I will tell you right now that some of my subscribers let me know the last time that there is one apparently that comes larger, like 17 or something. So I will tell you right now, if I had a chance to do it over again, I would have bought the slightly larger one, because sometimes it can be difficult, because as you see, there is not much room left on this for these 12.5-inch. So a 17-inch would be easier in some ways. That's just my 2 cents worth. But what a beautiful block. I'm going to post it on the Facebook group. And thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Dave sends his love. I bet he does. He's sending something else there. Probably not a bad idea. Okay, I will be good. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Rose. Finished her hemming. Thank you, Terry, Lisa. Listen, guys, it's been great. It's been fun. I appreciate you all dropping by. I'm going to sign off now. And I have Sunday's tutorial is all posted and ready to drop Sunday morning, 5 a.m. So tomorrow morning, you've got a short tutorial. It's a quick one this week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here. And thank you to all the new ones who dropped in. It was good to see you. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you next time right here at Marie's Scrappy Creations. Be kind out there. The world needs more of